Is evil an illusion that triggers our internal alarm clock in the form of suffering? Maybe what we call evil is ultimately the result of the random, perpetual motion of atoms that causes every action to have an equal and opposite reaction. And consciousness is just a highly evolved function for complex biological organisms to navigate their way through reality. And suffering seems to be a byproduct of that consciousness, which alerts us to lethal threats and the knowledge that one day we're bound to die, despite the fact that the hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, and other trace elements that comprise our bodies will neither be created nor destroyed, but continue to be in a constant state of change. And order seems to be a result of chaos. This is evidenced in how atoms form gases which go on to form stars such as our sun, which then spins off planets such as Earth from which biological life springs forth and evolves. This might lead to humanity's default way of thinking that there must be a creator and a grand design. It's why we personify natural forces we have yet to understand as gods, demons, and spirits. But that way of thinking seems to be a backward logic, an illusion of sorts. This is why our most basic instincts and reflexes tend to betray us, since reality is counterintuitive to our limited senses. For example, if you didn't know the Earth is round and that it spins at 1,000 miles an hour while orbiting the Sun at an incomprehensible speed of 67,000 miles an hour, you would simply assume we live on a flat and still Earth, as did most of humanity for thousands of years. Sadly enough, there are still people today who insist the Earth is flat, because despite the complexity of our brains, there is no guarantee of intelligence or even sanity. Even worse, this is why people follow such demonstrably false and predictably bad ideas, such as religions and communism, proposed by others who tend to be much smarter and greedier and thus less empathetic to others. Clearly, we're not all created equal. In the random, perpetual motion of countless atoms, some of us are born to be tall, some of us are born to be short, and along those lines, some of us are born to become highly intelligent, power-hungry, ruthless psychopaths who have no qualms murdering their own to obtain and remain in power. With good reason, we call these people evil and should continue to do so. But more importantly, we need to better detect the demonstrably false and predictably bad ideas proposed by status-climbing career politicians and the dictators they gladly broker deals with if we want to minimize our suffering within the limited time we exist as the conscious organisms that we are. Perhaps the ultimate irony and paradox of life and all of existence is that despite the grandiosity and vastness of the universe, there is no grand plan or ultimate meaning or purpose, let alone any consciousness to it all. Maybe it all exists just because. Which probably explains why so many religious people are willing to believe God somehow transcends time and space and always existed without any creator himself. Perhaps that intuition is the most accurate instinct we as humans possess about reality. Yet we as humans can give our lives meaning and direction, and that meaning in turn ultimately shapes not only our world and future, but perhaps the universe, or even multiverses, where maybe our universe is the result of a black hole from another universe as matter and energy evolves in a most random, inescapable, and unstoppable process where most anything is possible, good as well as evil. And fortunately, that choice seems to be ours to decide. Thanks for watching.